So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Environmental Social Justice. Today, I have a very special guest, Miss Jennifer Brooks of Be Water Corporation. So, Jennifer, you're the president of Be Water, and you
Yeah.
have the exclusive licensing with Brita Water. So, tell us what that means, how it's amazing, and how we're getting rid of plastic.
Yeah, great. Well, hey, Wendy, and thanks for having me on. I'm really excited to talk about Brita Water. Brita, the company that everyone knows as the pitcher company or the water filtration company, they wanted to get into the bottled water category because they recognize that, in spite of their best efforts to, provide an alternative for consumers to not drink single-use plastic water bottles,
Yeah.
sometimes they still need to. And so they did research and tried to look at the best, most sustainable packaging and realized that it's actually aluminum. Highest recycling rates. It's very durable. It's refillable, and it's great for beverage. So it keeps beverages cooler than plastic.
Yeah.
So they sought out a manufacturer that specializes in water and aluminum packaging, and that happened to be us. We've been doing this for about 7 years. We have a blue can emergency water. And we've really perfected our water specifically for aluminum packaging. So it just kind of made sense. We're also a California company. And so, yeah, we've been working for the past year and a half to develop the brand. And proud to say we have now launched starting this March. We're in the SoCal market and we're around the country. So this is our tall bottle. It's an 18 ounce, and this is what we call the short bottle. I'm sorry, this one's 25 ounce. This one is 18 ounces. So it can be purchased at Albertsons, your local Albertsons, Bonds, and Pavilions. And we're gaining more and more traction every day.
And this also, I mean, they come pre-filled with water, but then you can also reuse them as many times as you want. So therefore solving our single-use issue.
Right. And that's really the main point for Brita, is that they wanted refillable packaging, something that can easily be refilled. 1 in 4 households in the United States own some type of Brita product, so be it a pitcher or a faucet attachment. So it just is an intuitive solution, completely makes sense. It comes pre-filled with a 10-step filtration water process. So meaning the water is very pure, it's very crisp, very clean. And it also has a neutral taste. So whether you're on the West Coast or on the East Coast, and there are different taste profiles that come out of your faucet, you won't notice a huge difference because the water is basically tasteless. It is enhanced with electrolytes for increased health benefits. It has an optimal pH balance of about 7.8. And it's just great, crisp, clean water. So we're really proud of it.
No, I am a huge fan of Brita. I kind of grew up with them. So when I entered college and, I tasted the water that came out of the tap for the first time, I was like, well, this is terrible. So this was out in Boston where, the water's fine, but once it goes through some really old pipes, and my building was probably built in the 1900s, the pipes were not exactly the best. And it wasn't the city's fault. It was the building's issue. So I just bought myself a Brita, cleaned that up, and it was perfect. Worked great.
Right.
Now I
And
have to
that's the
ask
idea.
you, with your with the Bee Bottle Corporation, what started you in that industry? Like, what made you say, this is what I want to do? I want to get rid of plastic. I want to start this up.
Yeah, well, I actually can't take credit for that. My CEO and founder, James Schuyler, he's an environmental scientist. He had the CDC had recently put out a report on the harms of plastic water bottles. So not just to the environment, but that they are finding trace amounts called microplastics in our water supply. They've been found in our organs, and we also know that they're found in fish in the ocean, and then we consume that fish. So he wanted to come up with an alternative, and he was actually the first to put water in what we call the Alumatech bottle or the can bottle. You may have
Oh,
seen the Coors wide mouth bottle.
oh yeah.
And in fact, that bottle is owned by Ball Corporation, and they actually came to our plant and certified us as one of their approved manufacturers of water in aluminum. So, this was something that had already been started by James. My background is in retail, and James was actually looking for someone with retail experience to come and help elevate the brands and get them into retailers. And but when as soon as I was made aware of this opportunity, I thought, you know what, let me do something different in my life. It just resonated with me that this could be the future of beverage, and it is definitely turning out to be the case. We get contacted weekly for a new brand to launch in aluminum or an existing brand to switch from plastic to aluminum. So this was absolutely the right thing, and this is a trend that is here to stay.
Absolutely.
So I joined the company, and I took us to some trade shows and places that we would kind of get on the radar of some of these brands and CPG companies, and that's how we ended up meeting Brita, which, by the way, is owned by Clorox. So it was actually the Clorox team that had approached us and said, "Hey, we've been looking for a manufacturer specializing in water and aluminum."
That's brilliant. I mean, I love the fact you brought up microplastics because people do toss that around quite a bit. And just to let the general public know, that's when your plastic bottles, anything made of plastic, breaks down to really small, tiny, itty bitty pieces. And that gets into our food supply. And Boston University did an amazing paper where they actually found microplastics in seaweed, that the plastics had actually grown into the seaweed. The fish were eating the seaweed, we were eating the fish. So this is sort of a chain reaction event of, getting into our bodies. We don't know the long-term effects of that yet, but it's not good. We can just assume it's probably not a great idea to ingest this.
Right, absolutely. And think about how many times you've left your plastic water bottle in the car. And that heat actually accelerates the microplastics from leaching. The other thing that many people don't realize is the crack of the cap of a plastic cap produces at least 50% of the microplastics that leach in just from the
I had
first
no
try.
idea.
So we were very aware of that and made sure that our bottle is 100% aluminum, including the cap. So there are
Wow.
no microplastics that leach in. It's completely BPA free and free of other toxins that are found commonly in plastic.
Wow, I had absolutely no idea 50% came from the cap alone.
Just the
That
crack of the cap.
That's
Right.
extremely important to know. And so, and also bringing up the heat in the car, a lot of people, there is some data out there that you could get sick from, having your drinking water out of a plastic water bottle that's been sitting in your car in the high heat for extended periods of time. I
Right.
don't have that specific data on me right now, but I am aware of it.
Right.
So
And
this solves that.
plastic water bottles also have a shorter shelf life for that very reason. Plastic is pretty porous as well.
Yeah.
But if you think back to the hurricane a few years ago that ravaged Puerto Rico, and all these water companies donated their water in pallets, and those pallets sat on the tarmac of the airport for over a week, and then it was deemed unusable
Mhm.
because of, you can only imagine all of the plastic that had leached into the water. So thankfully, they did not give it to the people of Puerto Rico. Someone from FEMA actually reached out to our company because, as I mentioned earlier, we have an emergency water called Blue Can Emergency Water. That again is in aluminum. Aluminum has a really long shelf life. In fact, our emergency water is FDA certified 50-year shelf life because of not only the aluminum, but the process that we use to sterilize and then seal off the water. So
Oh, that's great.
yeah, so it's just aluminum. I can't tout it enough. It's a great material. We've been using it for decades, if not over a century, for our beverage. And now it's about convincing the consumer that it's okay for water too.
Yeah.
Um, and we have seen sales of sparkling water exponentially grow in these past 5 years. and those are in aluminum cans. So now it's about, you know, just your everyday drinking water. It's about changing your hydration habits,
Yeah.
and just trying to move away from the single use. Single use of anything is
Yeah.
not good, and we're hoping that consumers purchase Brita water, but also refill it throughout the day, reuse it. You can, you know, refill at your hydration station at work, at school, and certainly at home. So we're just hoping to reduce waste.
And yeah, I like the fact you brought up changing people's habits because convenience is, very important. You guys are available pretty much everywhere, so that is a convenience factor. But
Mm-hmm.
also changing the mindset of, oh, I need water, instead of grabbing that plastic bottle and throwing it in your bag, grab the aluminum one. It's going to feel the same. It's going to taste better. It is. It's going
It's
to
going to
cool.
feel better too.
It'll feel, but also cool. If you
It
throw that
gets
in the
really
fridge,
cold.
yeah, it'll get cold much faster.
Mm-hmm.
And all around, just a better product, in my humble opinion. But
Thank you. We
how can
agree.
how can people find you when they want to buy that Brita? Can you name the specific stores, or is there
Yeah.
online?
So here in SoCal, Albertsons, Vons, Pavilions. We're also on Amazon. It's just amazon.com/Brita Water. We're on Walmart Marketplace. And then our website, of course, you can purchase. You can actually get a subscription to get monthly water delivered directly to your home. So it's just BritaWater.com, and Brita is spelled with one T. There's a common misspelling with two, but just BritaWater.com.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much. This is a great product. People need to kind of switch that mindset away from the plastic to aluminum. And it's also nice and lightweight. Aluminum can be very, very lightweight, so it's not
Yes,
going to weigh in your bag. So thank you for that. Let's see more of this. Let's get it out there, and let's just ditch plastic.
I agree. Ditch plastic.
All
Brita
right.
water is the future. So thank you
Brita
so
is
much
the
for
future.
having me, Wendy. And I appreciate your viewers. If you can just run to the store and just try us. All we're asking is just give it a try.
Give it a try. You'll be hooked for life. It's that
That's
simple.
right. Thanks so much. Thanks, everyone.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.